Any questions? I know I've given you a lot of information, but again, let me just say, the financial aid office is on the administration, is in the administration building, first floor. We also have our website and our email address. Don't hesitate to call or come by our office and talk to a counselor. Yes?
What's the difference in a loan, grant, and a scholarship?
Okay. Difference in a loan, grant, and scholarship. The grants are federal. You have to qualify for them for the FAFSA application, and you don't have to pay those back. Now, with the student loan program, as I said, that is money you do have to pay back. And most of the loans require a 6 months grace period after you graduate or leave before you actually start making the payments back. Okay? Now, scholarships, on the other hand, they're based on merit. The two I talked about was based on need. But scholarships are merit-based, like your TOPS award, the Louisiana TOPS award. Okay? It's based on GPA, ACT score, as well as your merit scholarships here at ULM. Now, they do require you to have at least a 3.0 each semester, and you've got to complete full-time hours for your merit scholarship here at ULM to maintain eligibility. With your TOPS eligibility, you've got to be completing 24 semester hours at the end of the spring. Not summer, spring. And you have to meet the required GPA for your TOPS award. So that's the difference there. Scholarship is more merit, academic achievement, grants and loans, need-based. But you have to be making academic progress too. Next.
I honestly don't think that I'm going to qualify for financial aid. Do you think it would be smart to go ahead and apply anyway?
I would recommend you do. And here's the reason why I say that. Number one, if you're a TOPS eligible student, the state always says it's a good thing to go ahead and file the FAFSA application. The reason why is they say every year, in case there's a shortfall of the funds, that you would need to go ahead and have the FAFSA file, because they're going to go to those students who file FAFSA first. Okay? Number two, it's not a bad idea to have that FAFSA file, because it has happened. As many years as I've been in this business, it has happened. Many families will say, oh, we don't need it, we can pay, but there's been emergencies. And we've had families scrambling in at the last minute, coming in saying, we need the loan after all, or we need this after all. File that FAFSA and take care of it. Go ahead and get your paperwork taken care of. If you are offered a student loan when you were sent your award notice and you're on Arrow and you see that and you really don't want it, you can turn it down, you can say no. Can I come back later and get it? Yes, you can. You can always come back and ask for it later. I think it's a good idea to do it. Go ahead. And like I said, and then if it ever happens that you do need it, at least you've done the paperwork ahead of time. Sir?
I know you talked about full-time students, the 12 hours. Are part-time students also eligible for financial aid?
They certainly are. To receive the student loan, you have to be enrolled at least half-time, which is 6 hours. Okay? Now, if you are Pell eligible, depending on how much Pell you qualify for, you can be less than half-time to receive Pell Grant Award. But yes, to answer your question, you can be a part-time student to receive federal aid. Now, when it comes to your scholarships, you have to be a full-time student to qualify for that. Anybody else? Sir?
Yes, ma'am. My parents refused to give me their financial documents. What are my options?
What are your options? The federal government says that a complete refusal of a parent to supply their tax returns, because that's what you show on that FAFSA application, does not guarantee that you can become an independent student on the application. So unfortunately, as far as any options go to try to fill out the FAFSA, what we've told students in the past is that go back and talk to your parents again. Because number one, we tell them, look, if you're concerned that we're going to report you to the IRS, no, that ain't going to happen. Okay, we don't do that. But what it is that it helps them to determine what you can qualify for in federal aid. And also, most of the federal aid is in your name. Okay, it's in your name, so they wouldn't have to worry about paying any kind of loans back or whatever. Now, I know sometimes I've told some students, is there anyone else in that family that can talk to them, that can help you? We've had that happen. I've even said, why don't you have them call me, and I can explain the process to you. So as far as parents' absolute refusal, that's a tough situation for a student to be in. And so we try to give them ideas that can help them. try to get them to file that FAFSA application. Otherwise, if we don't receive that information, unfortunately, honey, there's nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. Our hands are tied. Ma'am?
What happens if I'm no longer independent of my parents?
Well, that depends. Okay, that depends. What happens is that when you file a FAFSA application, there's about 7 questions they ask about you to see if you're independent or not. The first question asks, will you be 24 your next birthday? They give the birthday to you. Or, are you married? Or, do you have a child that you're providing more than 50% of the support for? Or, are you a graduate or professional student? Or, are you a veteran of the armed forces? Are you an orphan or a ward of the court? Or, are you helping or supporting a dependent, not necessarily a child, it's a dependent that you're giving more than 51% of the support to? If you answer no to all those 7 questions, you are considered a dependent in the eyes of the federal government. Now, many students have come to our office and said, well, look, my parents are not going to file me anymore on their taxes. I'm not an exemption. I'm on my own. How do I file that FAFSA? The same way I just told you. If you're still answering no, you're still a dependent. Okay? Now, the Internal Revenue Service may think you're independent now, but not the federal government. Not when it comes to federal financial aid. Okay? So, you have to be very careful about that because you're not necessarily technically, you may be independent in one case, but you're not independent in another case. So unless you answer no to those 7 questions, you're still dependent. And there are a lot of students in that situation. A lot of students in that situation. Anybody else?
What should I do if I'm not exactly making satisfactory progress toward my degree?
Repeat that.
Well, if I'm not, what should I do if I'm not making the satisfactory progress towards my degree?
If you're not making that satisfactory progress towards your degree, number 1, you may want to go talk to the financial aid counselor to see, to find out, am I making that progress? Okay, or what is it that I have to take to make that progress? Okay? The other thing is, you may go talk to your advisor. You may need to talk to your instructor, like, why am I not doing well in these classes? Okay? Because what happens, honey, if you're not making satisfactory progress, it will take your financial aid away. Okay? You will lose your financial aid. So a suggestion would be talk to the financial aid counselor about what it is about the progress. And if you're really having trouble in your courses, there's a couple of things you can do. You can go to the Student Success Center to see if maybe they offer any kind of tutoring for those courses that you may be having trouble with. And the third thing would be talk to your instructors or your advisor. Is that the major you should be in? That's something that, that may be hard to think about because sometimes we will have students that will be in a class in a major and they'll continue and continue and continue, and before you know it, the longer they stay in that coursework and take the courses over and over again, guess what happens? Lots of things happen. Number 1, they're going to hit that, okay? They're going to hit that. And then the second reason is you're going to eventually use up all your loan money because there's total aggregate, because the government says you can borrow only up to so much money in your years of study, okay? And if you don't meet that, or if you meet that total aggregate limit, you're not going to have any more loan money. You're not going to have any more. So it's a number of things that could cause that. Next,